actually knew the dude or knew the girl that Aries slept with literally 2 weeks before the wedding. Oh my goodness. That is wild, okay? Hey loves, it's your girl Candace. I'm here with Confidential Talk. I just got done watching Married at First Sight, which it was a really good episode. Okay, we learned a lot again this episode. Now I wanted to talk a little bit about my last review on the last episode. I did get a little backlash about some of the things I said about Chris, and I just want to let you guys know that y'all my friends. At the end of the day, I am here to discuss this with y'all. So yes, I want you commenting. Yes, I want you to tell me your opinion, because my opinion is not always right. It's just my opinion, my first time viewing the show or the specific episode. So yes, I want y'all input, and you know, I just want y'all to know though that I am open to hearing what y'all gotta say, and I'm open to different perspectives, because at the end of the day, I know my perspective is not always right. Okay, so yes, y'all can call me out, but just keep in mind though that I am coming from a friendly place. Okay, this is just good tea, good conversation to have over a show. I'm not about to argue with any of y'all about this show, okay, because y'all my friends. I'm not about to go back and forth. There's no hostility, okay? So I just want y'all to keep that in mind moving forward. You know, don't take anything that I say offensively personally to you. You know, at the end of the day, this is just a show, and you know, I'm as entertained as anybody else, okay? And yes, my feelings remain the same about Chris, okay? He is definitely not my cup of tea. And I think the backlash that I got really more so was from the fact that I called Chris a simp. And that's just my personal opinion. I personally would not be able to. Yes, I would love a man to be in tune with his emotions. An emotionally intelligent man, you know. But personally for me, getting to know Chris on the screen, I will just say it's just not my cup of tea, okay? But you know, we're gonna unpack a little bit in this episode about Chris and Nicole's relationship and some of the things that she said in the after party that actually gave me, you know, some answers to some of my questions about how Nicole was feeling about Chris. Because for me, again, Chris is not my cup of tea. So I'm wondering, is Nicole just playing good? Is she just doing this for, you know, good TV, you know, playing along? Or, you know, is she really attracted to Chris? Is these not red flags to her? Like, those were kind of like my questions. So she answered the questions today. So yeah, we're gonna get into this episode though. But yes, I want y'all commenting. If you guys are new here, my name is Candace. I do videos on sex, love, relationships. We talk about sex toys, how to better your sex life over here, and obviously we do these recaps on the Married at First Sight, because that's my show. So yes, make sure you guys are tuning in and subscribe to the channel and become part of the family. And make sure you guys comment, because I do respond to you guys' comments, okay? But let's get into this episode. We're on episode 7, I believe, Jamaican Me Crazy, okay? So we first start the episode off with Clint getting together with Aries and Chris to talk about the whole Gina situation, okay? So I saw a lot of commentary about how really what Clint said really wasn't a bad thing, okay? And I know that we unpacked in the after show last week that he actually had said and made those comments toward Gina prior to actually saying them in front of the cameras. But one of my questions is, because I saw a lot of people being like on Clint's side and stuff like that, my question is, if that was really truly a conversation that you guys had, why wasn't it brought up on camera during the episode? Like, that was my biggest thing. I would have definitely been like, well, that would have been one of the first things I said to her once I saw that she was upset was, girl, we talked about this already. Like, I mean, obviously he's not gonna say girl, but like, we already talked about this. I've already said this. We both kind of had this conversation. And, you know, also too, if it was something that was said prior, then he would have made it known that the ginger and redhead comments were actually, you know, offensive to him. So that's just me. I know people were on Clint's side, and while I feel like he's definitely okay to have his preference, even when it comes to how you're built and stuff like that, it just so happened to offend women. So I kind of see both sides. I feel like he didn't say anything necessarily terrible or anything like that. But I think it's really, again, guys, for me, it's just about taking accountability that you hurt other people's feelings, and not just Gina's feelings. And just something about that story that they had the conversation prior just doesn't sit well with me, because it's just not coming across that way on camera. But anyways, so Clint seems to be trying to take accountability now with the guys, though. Clint and Gina end up talking it out, though. Oh no, I did forget to say this. Aries explains that Aries explains that it's how she may perceive the comments, and that's what I was trying to get at last week about the whole situation. It's not necessarily that I feel like he said anything wrong. I think it's just how the comment was perceived. Let's see here. So yeah, him and Gina has a conversation, and they end up making up, and they go to this group dinner. Clint gets up to apologize. I don't think he ever really apologized during the apology. We learned that the apology was really a long apology, Nicole said, and pretty much they were bringing out drinks throughout the apology, and it was just going on and on and on. But I don't think he ever actually apologized. He was just kind of like making excuses, okay? Gina asks how they would rate their marriages so far. So McKinley says a 7.5. Chris says an 8.2. Nicole kind of gets into this whole, well, I don't know how it's going to be when we get home. So right now it seems like everything's great, but da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, oh my God, girl, maybe y'all are like two peas in the pod, because you already like, you know, try to put some negative juju on your shit. So, but she ends up agreeing that it's like an 8.2. Kirsten says a 7, and Shaq agrees. Is it just me, or are we not getting a lot of Shaq and Kirsten like at all? Like, I've seen lots of Dom and Mac. I've seen lots of Chris and Nicole. I've seen lots of Jasmine and Aries. I've seen lots of Clint and Gina. But we hardly ever get to see Kirsten and Shaq. Just notice that. Gina says 5, and Clint says 5.5. And it's really giving tit for tat. He said that he wasn't trying to do that when he talked to the guys at the beginning of the episode. He's not trying to do the tit for tat. But that's what's giving for me, guys. I'm sorry. I know a lot of y'all are on his side. Y'all don't agree with me. Comment below. Tell me how y'all feel. Tell me. Aries says 7. Okay, and then obviously, like, it gets awkward because people feel like he's lying. We just saw that yesterday he was saying that he thought his wife was a 4 or a 5, okay? And Jasmine says a 7.5 or 8. They kind of have this awkward back and forth. Because he makes a comment about, well, it's only been a week, and she's like, well, you know, you keep saying that, and it's just like everybody around the table kind of looking at them, and it's just like really awkward, and they're kind of like going back and forth. And ultimately he's just saying like this experiment is still crazy to him. He just feel like this is crazy. It's been a week. Oh my God. Like, I'm still just getting comfortable with everything, adjusting, and it's not selling it with her, because it's like, look, if we got chemistry, we got chemistry. Yes, this is a crazy scenario, but do you like me? You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's giving. Or y'all give me that, baby. My cat playing with something. Let's see here. So then we see, then it's the next day. Then we see Aries working out, and he explains that he likes his alone time, and he's feeling guilty because he's not showing interest in Jasmine the way Jasmine is showing interest in him. Okay, so then we move on to Dominique, and she's surprised that Dominique and McKinley. So she's surprised that the experiment is something he decides to do because he's so reserved. And she actually opens up and says that she doesn't like the comments that he makes, that he wouldn't normally do this as in activities, but he's doing it for her. And she don't like that, okay? She like, do it for yourself. I want you to want to do it. I want us to be on the same page. I want you to be just as adventurous. I want you, you know, he's like, I like that you can pull me out of my shell and make me do things that I would normally do by myself. He likes that. But she's like, I would prefer you to just already be like that and just like to do those things, okay? So, she explains that she feels like a coach. And McKinley says that she has to give him room to be himself. And you know what? It's unfortunate because I really see both sides of this. I feel like she might be criticizing and nitpicking a little bit because she's just ultimately not attracted to him. And this is the thing. I think that some people don't realize that it's not just about physical attraction. Like you can find somebody physically attractive, but then you see how they maneuver, how they react to certain stuff, how they respond, how they carry themselves. And all that can factor into how you personally feel about somebody ultimately, and it changes, you know, how you look at them. So like, you could be like totally not attracted to somebody, but like you can see how they carry themselves, how they like respond to stuff, and how this, that, and the third. You be like, damn, like, and all of a sudden they just look better and better and better. Or it's the opposite. And this is just my perspective. I'm thinking that Dominique is criticizing him so much because she is unattracted with some of the ways that he is, like the joking and the not wanting to do certain stuff. So she finds herself critiquing him instead of kind of just getting to know him for him. Whereas McKinley, like, I just want you to accept me for me. I'm getting to know you for you, even if it's something like that I'm not crazy about, you know, anything like that. Like, I'm not going to critique you about it. I'm just getting to know you. So, like, I can understand that. But I can also understand Dominique's side where she just may not be attracted to him. And sometimes, I don't know if you ever guys been in a situation, you've ever been with someone and you just, like, there's certain things about them that are annoying you. And it doesn't have to be a partner. You're just in a space with someone. You're sharing a space with someone. And you particularly just don't like them, and you just find yourself nitpicking at certain things. And I just kind of like, that's how I'm seeing it. I could be wrong though, but that's honestly throughout this whole episode, I feel like Dom was just like not having it. Like she just found a problem with everything pretty much. Like, and I think honestly that's where it's coming from. She feels like a coach. He feels like he's constantly being critiqued. He said he's given her the benefit of the doubt and he would like that in return. And he also feels like it's her way or the highway. And he also kind of expresses to us, without her, he said that he kind of had high expectations because at first they were getting along really good. Everything was going really good. And he set the bar high. And now he's realizing, ooh, shit getting awkward. So now he's kind of like taking a step back, and I could kind of see him in the scenes where he's usually like more bubbly and more like joking and funny. He seems a little bit more like stressed, walking on eggshells, like apprehensive. So like I could see it. So then we move on to Nicole and Chris. So Chris gets the news. Child, okay, it wasn't just me, okay, y'all, and this is again y'all gonna come for me about this Chris character, y'all gonna come for me about this Chris. Honestly, as soon as I saw the whole scene with Chris crying, the first thing I thought was somebody died. Honestly, like the first thought in my mind, I was like, oh my god, he lost someone in his family. Like, oh my god, this has to be a really unfortunate turn of events because this is something they're gonna have to like work through together. And like, no one wants to enter a relationship where like you have to emotionally like lean on someone or emotionally support someone that you barely know. It's just like you don't know how to be there for them, and it creates an, you know, all this stuff is running through my mind, right? Because I'm so concerned. I'm like literally like, oh my god, child, he cried about the dogs. Chris finds out that the dogs will not be at the new apartment because they only have a max of 2 dogs. And with Nicole's 1 dog and his 2 dogs, that makes 3 babies. So one of them got to go. So he is crying. So Nicole is trying to, you know, get him off the cliff. She's trying to talk him off the cliff. She's trying to like, we're going to figure this out. While she has a baby she needs to be concerned about as well too. She got her own dog. She got her own baby that she's going to have to figure out, you know, what she's going to do with them. Like, you know, she's going to have to compromise. But she can't worry about that right now because she has to talk her man down from the fucking cliff. Child, I can't. Y'all, you know what? Call for me if y'all want to. Like, I cannot with Chris. It's a no for me. I understood when Nicole was saying in the after party, she said, you know, because the question came up, and this is where I feel like I was defended a little bit because, you know, she was asked, is this a little concerning to you? Is it a turn off? Is it a, you know, red flag or anything like that, that he can get so emotional? And Nicole pretty much said, like, no, actually the fact that he is so emotional about something that I truly care about too, which are the dogs, it actually is a good thing. So okay, Nicole, you know, I was kind of happy in that aspect because it couldn't be me. It couldn't be me. Because I don't know. That's all I gotta say. She ends up sacrificing. She ends up calling her father. Her father got come from Florida to Nashville, okay, to babysit the baby. Stay at her house and take care of her dog, Charlie, okay? We go to Jasmine and Aries. And Aries said it was... Aries said it was a shift after they gave different numbers. Oh, yes. So they sit down and they have the conversation. And he said, I feel like there was kind of a shift once, you know, I gave my 7, you gave your 7.5 and 8. Aries said he's getting more of a friendly vibe. So that's when he actually opens up to Jasmine and lets her know how he feels. But he feels like within time, he gonna be good. So he just needs some grace and some time. My only concern is that really what you need? Or do you really need that? Like, do you feel like you really could go, like, really have feelings for this girl if she gave you time? That's really my only question. Genuinely. I mean, you 39. Been around the block, sir. You should know. And that's the thing. You know, you can't always predict who you'll fall in love with, but I feel like after a while, you kind of can get an understanding of who's your cup of tea and who's not your cup of tea. You know? Correct me if I'm wrong. Nicole and Chris, they talked to the producers, okay? They have figured out a solution. Because the producers was like, look, it's still 2 dogs, okay? We not making no room for another dog. The apartment, they said only 2. Ain't no we can do about it, y'all. Figure it out, okay? But y'all gotta live together. Ain't no, because Nicole instantly was just like, we can make it work. I can stay in my house. We can, you know, the producer said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Y'all will be living together. And there will be 2 dogs, okay? So daddy is going to come from Florida and he's going to live at her house and he's going to take care of Charlie. And they'll be able to see Charlie and Charlie will be able to come visit, okay? So everybody's pretty much packing to leave. We see them moving into their new homes. Everybody's checking out their new apartments together. And I was curious. I was like, I wonder if everybody's in the same building. Probably not. The doors, I was kind of trying to check out the doors. Some of the doors look different, so I don't think so. So they're moving into their mutual living spaces. I mean, we have bits and pieces of different people. I saw that we got Shaq and Kirsten. Their conversation was really boring. So they're settled in their new home, and they're sitting on the couch, and she's asking how, you know, how he likes to clean, and then how he likes to do his laundry. And I'm just thinking to myself, oh, Shaq looks bored, okay? Kirsten said, oh yeah, I'll let you know if I'm not feeling something. We know Kirsten. We know, child. But she does make a comment that she says she is looking forward to moving in with Shaq. So that's what I'm saying. We need to see more of that relationship to really, because like the thing is, I feel like I can make my little predictions on some of these couples because we see the conversations, we see the chemistry, we see the lack of chemistry, we see all of it, okay? Like we even see the awkward moment with Dom and Dominique and McKinley. We could see and feel the awkwardness in the room, even though we're watching on TV. Like I can sense what's gonna happen potentially. I don't know with Shaq and Kirsten because they ain't showing that shit, okay? They scenes must be boring as hell, okay? Boring as hell because y'all tell me, have we seen them? We see them here and there. They get like 1 scene together, 2 scenes together in an episode. That's it. We see literally all the other couples way more. Let's see more Shaq and Kirsten, because I want to really see what this chemistry, like what's going on. Because we see next episode, she gonna say ain't no chemistry. So I want to see the lack of chemistry. Let me make that prediction, okay? Period. So we move back to Nicole and Chris. Chris says that if they have any problems to call it out immediately, but he does not like arguing. He don't like the drama, okay? She asked again if he loves her yet, and he said no. This is her second time asking, child, and it's only been a week, okay? Chris thanks her for her support, which she needed to. He feels like it brought them even closer, especially because she wasn't freaked out on how he reacted to the situation. Like, I honestly, I was still kind of asking myself this question in my head, like, is she cool with this? Like, was that like did that make her like weird, you know? Like, did she had to kind of be like, she kind of had to be like the head person in the situation. She had to be the one that made the compromise, to figure out the situation, the calm one. Like, she had to calm Chris down. Like, she had to be that person. So I was wondering, you know, really how she felt in that moment. But he thanked her, but she needed to, okay? We get Dominique and McKinley discussing living together. Then we go to Jasmine and Aries. Aries asks, when people live together, do they be in the bathroom together when they take a number 2? Absolutely not. Some people are very comfortable with each other like that, okay? I will personally say, me and my significant other are not that comfortable. I will want him far, far, far away from my bathroom, as far as possible away when I use the restroom, and vice versa. I don't want to smell his, he don't want to smell mine, okay? So, to answer this question, okay? Jasmine says Aries is bossy. Y'all, this is the scene that Aries made me so mad. So Aries asked if she can have a do-over, what would she change, okay? And she says that she's a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. So no, she wouldn't change anything. And she goes into this, you know, just a slight little conversation, and she says a few other things. And Aries literally opens his mouth to say, I was too busy enjoying my food. Did you say something? He 39, y'all. He 39. That may have flew when I was like in my early 20s. Oh, shut up. Boy, you rude. Oh my God. You just asked me a question. Excuse me? That's what I'm saying. I just don't get 39 from Aries. And that's what I'm saying. Age ain't nothing but a number, because you don't have to be a certain age to be have a certain level of maturity, obviously, okay? But Aries gives off very, very immature vibes. But it's crazy though, because sometimes Aries give off very mature vibes. Like, sometimes I feel like he's very mature and he seems very like grown man, but then sometimes, most of the time, he gives 29, not 39, like literally. And that's the thing, like, I mean, obviously, like, I'm 30, so that would be just a year younger than me. But like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. Because, you know what? It's so funny because, you know, obviously I'm not almost 40. But I do get this a lot, though. The people make comments about how, you know, I act and look a lot younger than my actual age. And one, I'm still young. Two, I'm very youthful. Like, I joke a lot. I like to laugh. I'm very funny. And I'm just like, you know, I'm just very like lively. And my maturity, you could tell my maturity in other areas. When it comes to me laughing, giggling, and having a good time, no. You're going to be like, oh yeah, she's like 22. But like, yes, when you actually get to know me on the intellectual level, you're going to be like, oh shit, she's smart as fuck. She actually owns a business. She actually does this. She actually does that. She's a boss. Like, so you can see the maturity in different ways in other areas. So I can maybe understand Aries in that aspect, but I think he's just a little bit too immature for me. That was just so rude and disrespectful. But sometimes people be like, oh my God, the things that I think is rude, disrespectful. I'm old school. I'm a 92 baby, okay? These new young people don't be agreeing with me when I be thinking stuff is disrespectful and rude. They be like, oh my God, that wasn't a big deal. I'll be like, what? That was rude. Like, you know, so I don't know. But that was just rude to me. How you gonna ask me a question and the way he said it, it wasn't even like, baby, you know what, baby, I was chewing, this food was so good, I kind of just I tapped out. What did you say? Like, it wasn't like that. Was you saying something? I was enjoying my food. Was you saying something? What? Okay. Anyways. So, Aries shows us his home. He got the gym, so, so Jasmine ain't got to worry that he wasn't lying, just trying to get away from her when he was working out during the honeymoon. He really do this, okay? So, he got the man cave, which all men got a man cave. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they got the man cave, we got the beauty room, okay? Just like Jasmine said, we got the beauty room. Jasmine seems to be ready to ride this little roller coaster with him, so good luck to her. So then we move on to Dominique and McKinley. She checks out McKinley's living situation. Now I want to discuss this. It's so easy to judge. Like, on the outside looking in, yes, it doesn't look too good. But I kind of understand McKinley and where he's coming from, whereas, I mean, he ain't got no kids. He ain't got nothing going on. He just working. You know, he ain't got no woman. Right now, he just want to move around. He want to go live here for a few months. I don't see anything wrong with it. And I kind of understand this. I mean, you saving money. It's all about saving the bread, stacking. I don't see anything wrong with McKinley's situation, but outside looking in, getting to know a guy and trying to move forward with him, it could be a little like, that is like not cute. It's not attractive looking. So I definitely see both sides. And she did ask a really good question in the car where she was just like, okay, you're not ready to commit into a living space, but you can jump and commit to a marriage. But honestly, again, I see both sides. It was a really good way to compare the two, but I do understand why he made the move he made. Now, I mean, especially if he's saying, look, I got the money, I'm open to living in Nashville, we could definitely buy a house, we could do this. There's nothing wrong with his living situation the way it is. It does suck though, because she can't get an idea of how he lives and how he would normally decorate, so that'll just have to be more conversation. But again, I think that she's looking at it in a negative way, because child, she don't want him. She don't want him. She don't want him. She like, I want somebody a little bit more established. Maybe he not from Nashville. He here to visit, kick it, and hang out and work and, you know, do McKinley. So it just depends. What is his financial situation looking like? You know, what is he trying to do? What is his future plans? Like, that's honestly really the more so what we need to be focused on versus what he got going on right now. Because honestly, like, I don't see nothing wrong with it. It just looks bad. Y'all let me know in the comments. Tell me what y'all think about it. And then that's pretty much the episode. So then we get the after party and we learn a few things. We learned, oh my god, I almost forgot. We learned that Jasmine actually knew the girl that Aries slept with literally 2 weeks before the wedding. Oh my goodness, that is wild. Okay, and she even made the comment like, okay, yes, we were single before the process, but we knew we were getting into this process. I knew I'm trying to be a wife, so I'm gonna act accordingly. So it was very, you know, kind of probably distasteful to hear that, one, you slept with someone prior to, you know, this experience, literally 2 weeks to finding out that or 2 weeks from the wedding, or finding out that you're about to get married. And also, I know the girl. Like, it's just, you know, it's not his fault that she knows her, but like, it's just the optics of it all is not good. If you kept your thing to yourself, we wouldn't be in this situation. We would just happen to just know the same chick. Not that you slept with her literally right before you married me. And the thing about it is, I could see if it was like, oh, I slept with her months ago, or me and her used to date a while ago. No, you literally slept with her right before we got married. Y'all, please comment below. Let me know what y'all think about this episode. Let me know what y'all think about Aries and Jasmine. That whole situation, like, y'all already knew. I already had my feelings about Aries, but that literally I was just like, you know what? Confirmation. Like, honestly, it's just a hot stinking mess. I don't like it. And Jasmine just really seems like she is willing for the ride, and I just like, girl, wake up and smell the roses. He ain't it. Okay, so yeah, comment below, let me know what y'all think about this episode, and I will see you guys in my next review. Peace.